Poltergeist came in the year 1982 and was directed by Toby Hooper and was produced by Steven Spielberg, story by Steven Spielberg, and co-written by Spielberg. It tells the story of when a small young couple move in to this new freshly made house with their kids. Everything seems good at first until stuff starts to happen. Chairs start moving on their own and stuff doesn't really seem normal because their house was actually built on a cemetery where the people that built the house just took the tombstones and didn't take the bodies out of the ground. And yeah, spirits aren't really happy. Welcome back to my first annual Halloween special. If you guys don't know, through the entire month of October, I'm going to be doing some thrillers, some horror films, or just some films I like to watch around this time of year. I've already discussed Sleepy Hollows and Coraline. There is a playlist on my channel if you guys want to see those videos. And now we're discussing Poltergeist. Now, kind of like when I reviewed Sleepy Hollows, I don't have any relation with this film. I recently just watched this film for the very first time last night. So I'm going into this film in this review completely fresh, only seen this film once. So I do not have any nostalgia or connection really with Poltergeist. That being said, I thought this was a really fun haunted house film. This is like the ultimate haunted house film. In the haunted house movies I've seen, this might be the best. No, it's not perfect, but it's close of being that. It's a really fun movie with some problems which we'll get into. What I loved so much about this film is the family dynamic. It feels real, it feels rich, it feels all around pretty perfect. It feels like a real family, especially the relationship between the wife and the husband. They've been married for quite a long time, but they're not sick of each other. In fact, they love each other even more we know this by a fantastic scene when they're just talking in their bedroom. A fantastic scene, by the way. Everyone does a fantastic job. Even the child actors, which are pretty fantastic, especially the girl. The girl is pretty fantastic. She's cute when she needs to be cute, and she's creepy when she needs to be creepy. She's really great, but in my opinion, the standout is the mother. She gave easily the most convincing performance as this traumatized mother who lost her daughter. It's a perfect performance. It's a traumatizing performance, and in my opinion, it is the best performance of this film. The first and third act are A-plus material. The first act, building the suspense, building this family, building this relationship, the sequence with the tree coming through the glass and distracting the parents to get the girl. It's all fantastic, and the third act especially is peak horror. The elongated hallway, the clown attacking the young boy, the skeleton pool sequence, which actually, fun fact, apparently they used real skeletons because it was too expensive to use props. If that's not commitment, I don't know what is. The music is chilling and fun and haunting. It's a very great score, and the practical effects are fantastic. When they use practical effects, which is most of this film, we'll get to the CGI in a second, it's fantastic. The sequence with the guy's literally imagining he's ripping his face off, it looks pretty real to this very day. So when they use practical effects like the tree or the elongated hallway, as I mentioned, or the skeleton, or the mother on the ceiling, it's all perfectly well done, and it's perfectly executed. And I love the way this movie feels. It kind of feels like a cozy film in a way. You kind of watching it and you just enjoying it. This is a fun film. I don't find Poltergeist scary. I just find it fun. It's a really fun horror film. There is problems though. I'm not a big fan of that second act. The second act is a lot of investigating and people coming in, telling you about the ghost and telling you about... It's not bad by any means. I'm not bored by this act. It is a still competently made, acted, and there's still some really good creepy sequences. But I always found this act to be very stale and kind of just takes out the tension and the character building. And there's not a lot. It's just a lot of paranormal investigating, which isn't bad by any means. And also, the CGI in this film, sadly, does not hold up. It's actually pretty bad. And the second act relies heavily on the wow and wonder and the kind of a mystical element of the second act. And because of that, CGI doesn't hold up really that much to this day. It kind of takes you out of it, and why the second act isn't terrible, it's still a solid act with good performances and some good sequences, like seeing the spirits for the first time. It's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of just slow investigating, and with the bad CGI, it kind of takes me out of it. The first and third act, the third act especially, with clowns and elongated hallways and skeletons and seeing the actual spirits, it's all fantastically well done. And the first act, building the family dynamic and just building up the tension, is incredible. The third act doesn't really have the awesome horror aspect of the third act, and it doesn't really have the family dynamic of the first act, so it's just kind of an act that, why good and pretty decent. And I'm not saying I hated watching the second act, I just wasn't a big fan. And the visual effects of that act and the CGI doesn't really do that well. But when they do use practical effects, which is a lot of the scares, it's a lot of fun. Overall, Poltergeist is an extremely fun, enjoyable, really well done horror film. Besides the second act not being as strong as the first and third, and the CGI not being up to par as I think it should be, I'll give Poltergeist a B+. So those are my thoughts on Poltergeist. What do you think of this? I'd love to know your thoughts down in the comment section below. If you guys like this video, you can hit the like button and subscribe and hit the post notification bell so you guys know when I upload another video. And if you guys like this, you guys want to know more of my thoughts on movies and TVs, I do run a podcast we do every other Tuesday with a friend of mine. It's called the Movie View Podcast, and you guys can check out my Instagram at GeneralScoDaniel77. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. General out.